Oh, hello, cameras and Puppy Kitty Jedi. I just saw, 2 days ago, I recently saw the first episode of the new Wacky Races on Boomerang, and actually, I was kind of like mad that Boomerang didn't really like announce nothing for the show. They did announce what release dates for like territories. Like, I think the show originally first came out in Australia earlier in the month, but later in the month they just released the first episode, and this is me reviewing it. And I actually thought this episode was pretty funny. It was basically like some of the racers, like Dastly and Muttley, Penelope Pitstop, and I don't know what the other two guys are named, but like, I actually like this first episode. Like, I saw a few episodes of the original show, and yeah, it's a 1960s show, so some of the jokes don't really land because it's from the 1960s. But this episode I actually thought was funny. And yeah, I should take this cover off of me. It's still in the chair, but like, this episode, this was the first, I think, TV show to not be from like the Hanna-Barbera company. But at the ending of the credits, they did show like Hanna-Barbera. It was about like all the racers. They were trying to race in this like snow tournament. And basically, like, everybody from like that race, like, all lost. I think the guy with the red jacket on, he got crushed by a car. Dastardly, he got what happened to him? I don't even remember this episode no more, but like, this episode was pretty funny. There was a few characters that got stuck, and I was like, oh wow. Like, this show was like so funny. Like, I actually pretty like laughed at this episode. I actually thought it was a little bit funnier than the original Wacky Races, to be honest. It's like similar to like the animation. I thought the animation was okay. Like, I would give the animation a 9 out of, like, not 9, but like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Like, the animation was okay. I think it was like used with like Toon Boom animation. It was like the same animation they did with the Hotel Transylvania and like shows like the Tom and Jerry show that's recently on Boomerang. So like, it's the same animation as that, but like, this show was a little bit funny for a Boomerang show. And I can't wait for Boomerang to release new originals, because the only two original shows they announced on this streaming service was like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, which it's okay. It's not good because it's a preschool show. Bunnicula, that is funny. I love Bunnicula. Like, I don't know why people never like talk about that show. It was on Cartoon Network for like a short time. I think Cartoon Network aired its first 6 episodes. And then the later episodes just aired on Boomerang, and then the other later episodes aired on the streaming service. So like, I actually thought Bunnicula was a really funny show, but like, this new Wacky Races, it's only 1 episode, but like, I actually like the voice cast in this. They do sound like the original voice cast a little bit. And it's like a reimagining of the original Wacky Races. But yeah, like, this show, it was a little bit funny. And the person that won at the ending of the episode was Muttley, the dog who's like like that dog who laughs funny. Like, I think there was one episode of the Flintstones that there was a dinosaur dog who laughed the same way as Muttley. I know Wacky Races came out like 2 years after the cancellation of the Flintstones, but I think Muttley was based on the guard. I don't know if this is true or not, But I think Muttley, the dog, I think he's based on the Barney's guard dog from the Flintstones. Because they both laughed the same way. Like, every time I saw Muttley in the original show, I laughed. He was hilarious. And I actually thought this reboot was a little bit funnier as original. I didn't think the original show was all that funny. I'd probably say there was one cool thing in the original show and both the new show. That it feels like a game show. Like, you know those like game shows you be watching? It feels like that. That's the cool part about Wacky Races. It's a cartoon, but at the same time it was a game show. Like, Wacky Races was originally supposed to be a game show for like the Heater Quigley company, which I think that's called. I mean, that company is owned by Metro Golden Mayer now under Filmways, but I think this is their only show that is now owned by Warner Brothers. I think most of the shows are owned by MGM at this point, but this is the only show that's owned by Warner Brothers because of Hanna-Barbera. And I thought this episode was really funny. I don't know if I'm going to make this video long. It might be a mini review, but this episode was so funny. Like, I can't wait for like more episodes. Like, since when I first got this Boomerang service, like, I could watch like all those like old cartoons, like, and some of like the new ones, like Bunnicula. Like, I some people don't really talk about Bunnicula, and I'm kind of sad that Bunnicula never found a audience, because that show is so funny. Like, I know Bunnicula is not based like fully on the children books, but like it's basically like a satire. Like, the characters, like the cat Chester, he's basically like the best part of this new Bunnicula show. And I'll show you what Bunnicula is, but like, yeah, that's this rabbit over here. That's Bunnicula. This the show. Look at how many episodes I saw from this show. This show was so hilarious, and actually, like, my most favorite episode from this show was what was my favorite episode? It was not Shop of Horrors, but it has to be Curse of the Were-Dude. That was when like Chester turned to like a human. He always wanted to be a human being, but when he became a human being, the girl Mina, she thought he was like a stranger. Like, and the Were-Dude, the one with the Were-Dude, he was actually in a later episode called Nevermore, which that was when they all went inside the computer, and like he Chester had a love relationship with that old lady who was in love with cats, but when he saw the actual person, it was actually the Were-Dude. But yeah, that was like, this show was like so funny. And there was some like new stuff that I never really saw before. I mean, I saw most of these shows, but I think it was mostly the movies that I never did saw, because I also watched a lot of movies on here. Like, I think some of the movies I didn't really saw was like, I think the Flintstones and the Jetsons, which, yeah, it's better when they cross over. I never did saw the Smurfs. I saw the Smurfs movie from 2011, because I grew up with that movie. I mean, it's not a good movie, but like, I saw those first two movies. I never saw the new Smurfs movie. I probably would never see it. But I saw the old Smurfs, and it's good. I think some of the episodes are like 20 minutes, but the other episodes are like 13 minutes. And I also saw Richie Rich on here. But I'm trying to figure out what release date this show might come out. Like, this is a show I really want to see, Wacky Races. And like, it was kind of weird when they first announced Boomerang. They announced two of the new shows. And the only show that didn't really pop up was Wacky Races. Like, they didn't really talk about that show. And now they finally released the first episode. And yeah, that's something. And I actually liked that first episode. I thought it was a little bit funnier than the original show. That, yeah, it's a modernized version of it, but I thought it was a little bit funnier, though. But there was one video I saw on YouTube. It said this. It was like his YouTuber. He uploaded a video of the new show. It was like after watching this show, and I thought that video was dumb. Like, I don't think this show's bad. Actually, I never even thought Be Cool Scooby-Doo was bad. I mean, I actually thought Be Cool Scooby-Doo was a really funny show. Like, Be Cool Scooby-Doo. I mean, I think the only problem people didn't like about, like, I don't think Be Cool I like Scooby-Doo. I like all the cartoons. I like every single Scooby-Doo cartoon out there. And also the live-action movies. But I think the only problem that people didn't like about Be Cool Scooby-Doo is, like, the animation. Like, the animation, it's not good. Like, it's not even, like, similar to the older animation. But the only good thing about Be Cool Scooby-Doo it's a parody. It's kind of the same way they did with Teen Titans Go. It's a parody of that original show. Like, Be Cool Scooby-Doo is basically a parody of the original Scooby-Doo shows, but just better as Teen Titans Go. I mean, I like Teen Titans Go. I don't have a problem with Teen Titans Go. I like Teen Titans Go. My only problem with that show that they aired way too much on Cartoon Network. Like, I think the weekend I was at my dad's, and like they never didn't even air an episode of the original Teen Titans. So they were airing like Teen Titans Night to Begin to Shine all day on that channel, and I was kind of pissed off. But Be Cool Scooby-Doo, this was a show that I was kind of skeptical about watching, because a lot of people said it looked terrible. I didn't think it was terrible. I mean, the animation's not up par as the original animation, but like, it's a funny show. New Looney Tunes. This show. Okay, you might not know what New Looney Tunes is. It's basically Wabbit. You remember that Cartoon Network show, Wabbit? When they first announced the Boomerang streaming service, they changed the title of the show. I don't know why they changed the title. They should have just kept it as Wabbit, but they changed the title as New Looney Tunes. And for the show New Looney Tunes, they don't even have all the episodes. I think they do have if you don't know about Boomerang, most of the new episodes of New Looney Tunes aired on the television network. And they're going to release more new episodes in 2018. I heard that two of their shows, Be Cool Scooby-Doo and New Looney Tunes, two of those shows were renewed. I think Be Cool Scooby-Doo already has season 2. Be Cool Scooby-Doo already released season 2 in some countries. Some people say they didn't finish season 1, but I actually looked up Be Cool Scooby-Doo. They actually did. Some people say they didn't finish season 1 of Be Cool Scooby-Doo, but really, they did finish the season. Yeah, the first few episodes aired on Cartoon Network, while the later episodes was released on the streaming service. So I looked up the Scooby-Doo wiki for Be Cool Scooby-Doo. It says that they didn't finish season 1. They did finish season 1 in the United States on the Boomerang at streaming service. New Looney Tunes, they're not even finished with that season. That show came out in 2015. They released a few new episodes on the Boomerang streaming service, and then they released the later few episodes on a TV network for a little while, but then taking it off the schedule again. And those episodes are not even on the streaming service. Like, I show you, for example. Let me see if I type in Boomerang and see if it might pop up. Like, I show you, like, most of the shows that... I probably did show you this before. And yes, I do got a face cam on there, finally. Thank God I have a face cam. Because I used to just film stuff on the... Yeah, actually, these are the shows that are hiatus. And if I press New Looney Tunes... A lot of their new episodes, let me see which episode. I'm going down to 2017, I guess. See, most of the new episodes were... But most of the new episodes were released on the streaming service in April of 2017. And then on July 12th of 2017, starting from episode 27 to episode 27 to episode let me dance the episodes. Episode 27 to episode 39. Episode 27 to 39 were released on the television network for a little while, but they took it off the schedule again for reruns. And they were all aired on the television network from July 12th to the 18th. And most of the later episodes would air in 2018. But my only problem with that, like, why couldn't they just release it on the streaming service, though? If that's their new goal. And actually, why didn't they put Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz on the television network? That'd be pretty cool if Dorothy was actually on the TV network also. Be Cool Scooby-Doo. Like, some people say they didn't finish season 1, but I actually looked up. They finished season 1. Season 1 was finished on June 20th. And to be honest, most of the season 1 episodes were aired on Boomerang later this year. Like, they were all released. See, it says no episodes aired on the streaming service. Meaning most episodes were released on the streaming service. And season 2 was already released in some countries like the UK and Australia. So, like, that's something. And they did, and I'm glad that they released the region 1 of season 1 on DVD. They got all the episodes of season 1 on DVD, like, for each volume for it. But I think it says that season 1 part 2 will come out on December 12th. Season 1 part 1 came out in 2016 of February, but season 1 part 2 will come out December 12th. But the only show I'm really worried about that, I don't know, they still didn't renew it yet, is Bunnicula. Which I don't understand why they renewed that show. I mean, I know the show didn't gain an audience. Because, to be honest, Cartoon Network barely aired this show. I mean, it was aired a lot on the Boomerang channel. But then it was taken off the schedule. And then it was put on the streaming service. But yeah, I think that they do air it mostly on Teletoon in Canada. I'm not sure if they still aired on Teletoon, but most of the episodes were aired on Teletoon in Canada, which, so look, they still got a lot of episodes that were still not aired yet. And they did release the first 20 episodes on DVD. And the show that was also taken off of the schedule was Peanuts. Which, I'm still wondering, what happened to Peanuts? Like, look, they got 3 of their acquired shows. They got Sonic Boom for new episodes. They got Grizzly and the Lemmings, which, by the way, if you don't know this about Grizzly and the Lemmings, was just renewed for season 2, which was just renewed for the second season for 2018, which I still never saw Grizzly and the Lemmings. Some people say it's not a good show, but I actually looked up their social media. I think it is beloved by some people. I think Grizzly and the Lemmings does have a fan base. Because it's a French show, but like, I think Grizzly and the Lemmings does have a fan base. That's a show I really do want to see Grizzly and the Lemmings. My Night and Me, when I first saw a clip of that show, I was like, oh god, the animation, like, I don't know. My Night and Me looks like a show that should not be on Cartoon Network or Boomerang. It should be like, I don't know, it should have never been like on Cartoon Network, by the way. Or Nickelodeon, or like any kids channel that's on cable. It should have been like on like Kabillion or Cubo. I would say, like, for example, if Cubo or Kabillion bought the rights for My Night and Me, I'll probably be fine. Because Cubo and Kabillion is one of those 2 networks that have those cheap budgeted shows, or something like Kids Click, that programming block. They have like those cheap budgeted shows. Like, this show should have never been like on Boomerang. And it says, like, when I first read this show, it says The show premiered in the United States on January 2nd on Cartoon Network. But for example, okay, the show premiered on Cartoon Network on January 2nd in the United States, but it was removed in March of 2017 due to its unpopularity and extremely low ratings. So it was added on the Boomerang television network for new episodes. And it says, like, for example, look at that. It says Cartoon Network. And Cartoon Network, they aired, like, the first 33 episodes. And then episodes 34 to, like, 52, I guess, were aired on Boomerang. But, yeah. I wish I just don't talk about the Boomerang channel. I really want to, like, explore this channel a little bit. I don't know if I should upload it on the Puppy Cage. I might just add it on my normal channel, though, because this video is too long. I think if I add it on my Puppy Kitty channel, it would have said I have to, like, verify it, but I could add it on my my regular channel, Kaylin Bryson, and you can easily find Kaylin Bryson. That's my YouTube name. But yeah, I think that Boomerang has better shows. But my only problem about this new Boomerang, yeah, Powerpuff Girl 2016. Like, Powerpuff Girls 2016, like, just why? Why did they add this show on Boomerang? I'm okay that the show, like, came out a few months after the show's release. Second, Uncle Grandpa, I think Uncle Grandpa should say. Some people are complaining that Uncle Grandpa is on Boomerang. I'm okay with that. Because Uncle Grandpa, I think that was a smart move that they put Uncle Grandpa on this network. The only why I say that, because Uncle Grandpa just ended like 2 months ago. And that was a smart move they did. Okay, KO. Oh boy, this show just came out like in the beginning of August. And 7 days after its release on Cartoon Network, they just said, oh, we should just put this on Boomerang. Like, why? Just why, Turner? Like, why would you add this show 7 days after its release? Like, why couldn't you wait, like, 2 months ahead? Or, like, I don't know, like a year after this show's release? Why did you have to wait like 5 to 7 days after the show's release and finally just add it on Boomerang? I mean, yeah, it's still airing new episodes on Cartoon Network, but really, you add this show on Boomerang 7 days after its release on Cartoon Network for like syndication? That's kind of like